Okay, hello everyone. So today we would like to learn about new topics again. There are two topics that you would like to learn. Firstly is about lead generation, and the second about digital product creation. So for a virtual assistant, about general virtual assistant and also medical virtual assistant, lead generation is one of the essential skill. It's like we finding the potential client for ourselves, and of course if we work in a company or organization, then we would like to find the right prospect, so we must do lead generation. So let's start to learn. So lead generation for virtual assistant is to find ideal clients, build lists, and of course support business growth. Okay, so the learning objective of today's topic, by the end of this module, you will be able to first understand how lead generation support business growth. Secondly, use tools to find and verify potential client or customers. And then third, organize and manage lead databases efficiently. And support client outreach campaign with accuracy and strategy. Okay, let's go to the next page. Okay, so this is the table of content of our topic today. First, we will learn about understanding lead generation, and then lead research tools and techniques, and then organizing and managing lead data, and then supporting an outreach campaign, and lead qualification and segmentation, then common mistakes and how to avoid them, and of course we will do practical exercise. Okay, understanding lead generation. Lead generation means identifying people or businesses who could benefit from your client product or service and collecting their details in a structured, actionable way. It's not just about finding anyone, it's about finding the right one. So, as a virtual assistant, you play a key role in this process. You will help your client save time, target correctly, and build connection that convert. So, what a lead generation VA does: firstly, research ideal client profiles, and then secondly, collect verified contact data, and then third, update CRM system or spreadsheet, and then tag leads by category. It can be cold, warm, and hot, and then support email or LinkedIn outreach sequences. So think of yourself as the research engine of your client sales funnel. Okay, next. Okay, this is lead research tools and technique. So the essential tools for lead generation are: purpose. For business research, we can do our research on Google, LinkedIn, and etc. And then about email finding, snuff.io, apollo.io, and Leadsrock. And today we would like to navigate this kind of tools. And then CRF management, we can use Wix or Hostinger. And then data organization, we will use Google Sheets and Excel. So, lead research and technique. Firstly, we will do identifying your client ideal customer profile. For example, your client wants you to find a potential prospect for female entrepreneur, 25 to 40 years old, running e-commerce stores in Europe. So you will do research using LinkedIn filters, like do filtering by job title, industry, and also location. And then you can visit company website for decision maker names. Okay, you can use also some tools like apollo.io, LeadRock, and snuff.io to find emails associated with the domain. Verify its email before adding it to the site. Okay. A clean, accurate list is more valuable than a big but messy. Okay. Let's go to the next page. Okay. So this is the step-by-step research process. Firstly, define your ideal client profile, and then like identifying target industry, company size, and decision maker role. Secondly, search via LinkedIn or Google. You can use keywords like marketing manager, real estate US, or e-commerce founder Europe. And then you can collect key data points, for example, name, role, company, website, LinkedIn, and email. So, and then you can also find email with lead tools like hunter.io, Rocketreach to find a confirmed addresses. But actually, there are a lot of tools that we can use to find the potential client. Previously, in this slide, we see like apollo.io and then snuff.io, LeadRock, and this is for Hunter, Rocketreach. And for my based on my research, there are more than 10 tools that we can use to find the potential client. Okay, and then verify email for accuracy, check for deliverability, and you know, in these tools like Hunter, like Apollo, there's some menu that we can choose to verify the email. So we make sure that the email is not just a trust data, but but the email is really clear and really verified. So we don't waste much time to email the wrong person and the wrong email too. Okay, and then save to central spreadsheet. We can organize data in Google Sheet for easy collaboration. Okay, so this is you can see this chart. It's like a flow. You define the client, search via LinkedIn, find email through Apollo, collect key data, verify email, and save to a central spreadsheet. Okay, next. Organizing and managing lead data. Once you have found the leads, your next job to organize them clearly. After you do the research, usually you will get a lot of data, and also from Apollo or LeadRock, you will get so much data with raw data. That's why you must manage to be clear and clean. Okay. A professional virtual assistant maintains a lead database that is accurate, clean, and easy for the client to use. So you can make a table on the spreadsheet like this: name, company, position, email, source, and status. Okay. So for the data hygiene tips, always verify email first before adding. You can use some feature on the tools that we would like to learn later on. And then remove duplicate weekly. Make sure that the email is not duplicating. And then use status text like new, contacted, reply, and converted. So it's not only a lot of data, but when you get the emails and then you will send the email like email marketing, email promotion, then please make sure that you make a tracking. For example, this email already sent, and then the second email already sent and replied. So make sure that you have a well-organized skill, so you can build the clear tracking on your sheet. Of course, update notes with every communication. So this is the note. The cleaner your data, the easier it is for your client to take action. Okay, next. Creating your own lead dashboard. You can use Google Sheet or Airtable to monitor pipeline clearly. For example, this is the column, example, and also purpose. For the lead name, Sarah Lopez, and then the purpose is contact person. And then for the company, let's say Nova Agency, the purpose is client business. And then the email, sarah@nova.agency, the purpose is for communication. And then status, contacted or replied. And then the purpose is to track stage. And then source, for example, the source is from LinkedIn or referral. The purpose is to track ROI. ROI means return of investment. And the next steps, you can follow up on November 10, for example, and then the purpose is stay on schedule. And of course, for the best practice, you can use color code by status. For example, if it is reply, you can use green color. For follow-up, you can use yellow color. And for pending or not delivered, for example, you can use red color. Okay, and then freeze header row for easy scrolling. I know that all of you know that in the Excel or Google Sheet, there is a feature called freeze. You can also use freeze to make it more clear and easier to move and to see your data. Okay, and then add a filter to sort by date, edit, or by status. So this is the pro tip. You can set up a weekly reminder to update your dashboard, consistency, and finally, your lead generation data will be perfect. Okay. Next. And then supporting outreach campaign. Okay, lead generation doesn't stop at collecting data such as name, and then often your next task is assist with outreach. Outreach means you do the email marketing, you do follow up, you do also tracking and monitoring. So, as a virtual assistant, you might write first contact messages, email or LinkedIn, and then schedule outreach email using tools like Mailchimp or Lemlist, and then track replays and update status, and then send a gentle follow-up messages. Okay, this is the example for the email pitch or marketing. For example, piecing together our cloud storage puzzle. Hi Jessica, seems our dialogue on the cloud storage solution took a quiet turn. Are these missing pieces I can help with? If adjustment or additional support needed, I'm ready to jump in. Give me a sign. Awaiting your cue. Michael. Okay. So this is the example outreach sequence for the first step. The message type, initial outreach. The goal is introducing our or services. And then the second email is for following up. You can, the goal is remind or serve value. And then the third is for final touch. You can ask if they want to connect or interact with our services or product. So make sure follow-up can double your client reply rate. Never skip them. So not only just sending an email, but also please make sure you do follow up. Okay. Next, supporting outreach campaign. And the best practices for outreach email are: first, personalize every message. Mention their company or recent post to show genuine interest. Example, I saw your recent campaign on sustainable packaging. Amazing work, like that. And then, of course, keep it short and clear. And the ideal length is for 50 to 80 words, one goal, one call to action. And then focus on value, not sales. And then explain how your service or product helps them and not just what it is. And then follow up gracefully. Wait 3 to 5 business days before sending a polite follow-up. Okay. Next. So this is the example before and after email. Before, hello, I want to introduce our service. Please check our website and let me know. And then if you already know about how to write an outreach campaign or email well, and then your message will be, hi Sarah, I noticed that your agency helps Eco brand grow. We help similar teams boost engagement by 30%. Would you be open to quick 10-minute chat next week? So this is the pro tip. You can use tools like MailTrack or Gmail to track opens and automate gentle reminders. So this is the important things also. You must personalize each email. Don't just send general emails. It is better to do greeting by their name. For example, the name is Sarah, so you say hi Sarah or hi James, and then make sure we do some research about their company or their business, so we can also put their business information through our email. And of course, there are so many automation tools like MailTrack or Gmail, so we will know that our email already opened by the receiver or not. So it's really helpful to learn about sophisticated tools for email marketing. Okay, next. So this is lead qualification and segmentation. So not all leads are equal. Some are ready to buy, some just browsing. That's why you must segment and qualify leads based on relevance and readiness. So this is basic qualification framework. For example, the criteria is budget. So the description is, can they afford the service? And then example question, what's your current marketing budget? And then for authority, are they decision maker? Who usually approve new vendors? And then need, how they actually need solution? And what's your main challenge right now? And then for the timeline, when are they ready to start? And then the example question, are you planning to hire this quarter? So the more qualified your leads, the better your client close rate. And of course, we must pay attention to this. For example, we would like to offer our services. Of course, we will search the potential client in decision maker position, like that. Okay, next. Understanding lead temperature. For example, lead type, hot lead, behavior, replied, and then requested information, and click the link. It means that it's really potential client. And then for the action, you can notify client or book a call. And then for warm leads, the behavior, usually they opened email, engage on LinkedIn. And then you can also send follow-up message. And then for cold lead, they usually don't reply after 3 messages, and then archive or revisit in 30 days. Okay, the bonus tip, visualize your funnel, hot, warm, or cold. Each level needs a different message style. For the hot lead, you can direct scheduling, and then for the warm, you can do case studies or testimonials, and then for the cold, awareness posts or nurturing. And about the tips, don't delete cold leads. They can warm up later with new campaign. Okay. Next. So this is the common mistake and how to avoid them. So the common mistake is adding unverified or outdated emails, and then targeting wrong audience, and then forgetting to track communication, then duplicating record in the spreadsheet, and not updating lead status after outreach. And then how to avoid them. Make sure always double check your data, and then keep one master sheet or CRM as the source of truth, and then communicate with your client weekly for updates. Okay, so this is the practical exercise. I will do it later. For the lead generation practice task, the scenario, your client sells an online productivity course for small business owners. Your task, define your ideal client profile, type of business, region, or role. And then find 10 potential leads via LinkedIn or Google. And then collect name, company, role, email, website, or country. Verify each email. Use tools like Neverbounce or Hunter.io. And then organize data in Google Sheet. Name, email, company, and status. Share with your trainer or teammate for review. And then the goal, show research accuracy, organization, and communication clarity. Okay, that's all for the lead generation material. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you get something from this session, and we will do navigation after this session. Thank you.